Welcome to the channel. Well, you voted literally in your tens that I should restore this Kawasaki GPz305 from 1984. It was a bike I owned when I was 17. I eventually sold it, and a few months ago I managed to get it back. If you want to see the full story, here's the video here. I think the first thing we should do is I'm going to try and put together the bits. I've got a few boxes of spares that came with it. I think we need to work out what's missing and then decide how we take the project forward from there. So let's see what's in the boxes and see what we've got. Okay, quick first assessment. Things aren't too bad. From the back, everything seems intact. Obviously got the mudguard, I've got the number plate still. Under the seat, the rear tool tray or storage area, that fits under there. That's all, we've got one of those. Then it doesn't get quite so good. We're missing the grab rail. We're missing the rear indicator and the brackets, and I think the brackets could be a challenge because I think they are unique to this bike. The rear inner mudguard is missing. Don't know how rare those are. Rear wheel, all that side of it seems complete. I think there's the battery lead is down there. I didn't put it on because you've got to feed it through underneath. So the battery tray's there, the little tool tray above is there. Sadly the toolkit isn't there. It was there when I sold it. If we have a quick look under the tank, this way it doesn't look quite so good. We've got a regulator, we've got no CDI, and they're quite expensive. We've got no carburetors, again they're not a cheap part. We've got no coils, so there's a lot of electrical stuff missing under that side. Tank rubbers are missing, I'm sure they're available. That doesn't look too bad at the moment. Up the front, I've got another clutch lever that can replace that one. Obviously no clutch cable. That wasn't important. We've got one piece of the fairing, which is the inner cowling. There is a little bit of value in that. It's the whole fairing is the problem. Have got the cover for the ignition lock, and the ignition lock at the moment I have removed that because it revealed the code, and through the internet or good old eBay you can actually get the keys made. Incredibly, the one for this was also the same pattern as a Ducati key, which I found rather strange, but hey ho. Brakes wise, I've got nearly a full set. I've got lever master cylinder. There is a second master cylinder with brake pipes, but no calipers. There's a caliper or two calipers there, but to be honest, they are not in great condition by the look of it. They may need to replace. Realistically, what I've got to do now, I've got to address the elephant in the room, I'm afraid. Yes, the missing front wheel and discs, and realistically this is the reason the bike was probably sort of half broken for spares, despite the fact this bike was produced for 12-14 years. The rare piece on this is the front disc, would you believe, and they're actually a 5-bolt disc rather than a normal 6-bolt disc, which most Kawasaki seem to have, and you can't get them from Kawasaki. They're no longer listed. You can get pattern ones. They're about £85–90 each, so that's sort of best part of 200 quid just for the disc, and obviously I need the wheel as well. So as you can see, the parts bill for this one is starting to build up, and that's the reason we need to have a lesson. Right, today's lesson is in Oscarnomics. Listen up at the back, I will be asking questions later. Right. If we start running through the parts I've already identified we need, like front wheels, discs, fairing, I didn't mention things like the seat, it's got a split in it, so we need to recover or replace it. There's various other little bits like the grab rail I mentioned, right hand switch we need. All these together come to £625, and there's going to be loads more that I've missed. And also some of these bits, it's going to be tracking them down. Things like the rear indicator mounts is going to be a bit of a pain in the backside. But I've already spent £102.65 on the bike. There's going to be loads of other bits I'm sure that I've missed that I need, or I find that are broken. So the cost is going to start racking up. I know it's not massive money, but let's try and be sensible on what is not a highly valuable bike. So what's the option? The option is we go and find a donor bike. They don't come up that often, but they seem to be somewhere between anything from £100 if you're really lucky up to sort of 250. So I think that's the way we need to go, because all of those parts, if I buy the right bike, will only cost me hopefully 150, 200 quid, and I'll probably have a load more spares with it. Some of it maybe I can sell on, so it makes financial sense to buy another bike. There's a bit of a moral thing of destroying another one to make this one better, but hey, that's life. And on the other side, because that's what all Oscarnomics is about, we've got the income. I'm going to be really honest with you guys, so you know what's happening. Out of the first video so far, with great views that you guys have given it, we have earned £75.28 up to the 4th of July, and today is, yes, General Election Day, so that's the day I'm videoing this. So we can see, it'd be great if you hit that subscribe button. That'll help get us to try and even pay for the whole restoration. How great would that be? But before we go on the hunt for a donor bike, I've got one little funny story to tell you. A few days after I picked this bike up, I got a message from the seller telling me that a friend of his, or a contact, I can't remember the exact words he used, had some parts for sale. And he offered up some side panels, which I thought, that's really great. The interesting thing was, when I looked closely, I realised, for two reasons. One, I glued that back on there in about 1987, and the other thing is, on the front of these, they have no belt drive under the GPz305, so they were off the very first batch of bikes that came in the country. I thought, they're my side panels. So I then said, okay, well, I'll play the game. So I said, okay, can I have the contact details of whoever it is? And never had a reply. And so I asked again, never had a reply. Bit odd, anyway. Finally, they turn up on eBay, so I thought, that's okay, I'll just bid for them on there and buy them. So I did the old, what we all do, last minute bid, clicked on it, I was blocked. Because obviously I bought the bike through eBay off the same seller, but for some reason he blocked me on this. Nobody else bid, so they got listed again, so I do what we all do. I've got a second account, I just bought them on that one. I just found that really bizarre. He did have several other bits for sale, like the CDI and stuff like that, which I guess probably came off this bike. But I just thought that was all a bit daft, really. But hey, I've got these and they're the original ones, so I've got virtually all, apart from the fairing, all the original bodywork, which is really nice. Right, you're going to think this is a load of made up YouTube stuff, because this is literally 2 days after I released the first video on the GPz305, and here I am at a undisclosed location picking up a donor bike which I've been desperately looking for, and amazingly, I really didn't make this stuff up, amazingly it appeared on Facebook yesterday, and it was previously a donor for another bike, but it's pretty much complete and gives me all the parts I need. And in here, in the back of the car, we've got a load more. We've got a really good seat there, and we've got a fairing, so we are good to go. There's a tank in there. Haven't got a lock set, but apart from that, I'm pretty much ready to go. And actually, Joe is over here looking a little bit shy, but we're going to come and have a quick chat. That's fine, Joe. So
So this was a donor for a bike that you've got already, so you're a bit of a GPz305 fan?
Yeah, well, I had 3 of them at one point. Had the first one and then bought this one to do that one and then bought another one to do that one, and it sort of landslided and got a little bit out of hand a bit quick, to be honest. But,
yeah, I think that's a bit of a habit for us people with these sort of mid-80s Kawasaki's. That is what tends to happen. So, and Joe says he's going to become a subscriber, and he's going to see what happens to his bike. So let's see what we get up to next.
So mate, Knobbly, our donor bike. Why Knobbly? Well, it's got knobbly tyres on it, of course. The back one actually is brand new. It's still got the old pimples around it. So obviously I won't be using that. So if anybody needs a knobbly tyre, get in touch. Joe has done this absolutely stunning on this. Not only have I got the bike, there's 3 boxes of mechanical spares, some bits that I need, some bits that I don't, so we'll have a sort through those. But critically, we've got the front wheel, the discs, so that's a real big win. There's another box with a fairing, completely with its screen and everything else, and also the rear inner guard that I was missing off my bike. So we're on a winner there. The seat is like it come out of the factory on the cover. Quite often they split on these fake stitching lines, but this one, to be honest, is actually better than the one that was on the bike when I sold it, so we'll take that as a win. And the tank, now I want to try and use the original tank and get it repaired, because I want to use as many original parts on my bike as I can. I don't want to fake it really and just sort of have lots of other parts with my number plate on it. I want to try and keep as many parts as I can. But this tank inside is so clean, and these are obviously a weak point on all sort of 80s and 90s bikes. I'm tempted, what I might do, I've got enough bits of bodywork now, I could have a second set of bodywork which is in sort of like immaculate order, and also have my original set. Don't know if that's a good idea or going over the top, but tell me what you think in the comments. But overall, this is brilliant. We can move forward now so quickly. I'm going to get on and strip this bike down, get the parts off that we want, and then next time we'll start building up the original bike and see how we get on. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate you taking the time. Also in the comments, you've been really supportive with me getting on with this, so you've really inspired me, so thank you so much.